When I was a little boy, my dad used to make this phenomenally good red enchilada sauce, and it was made out of fresh red chilies instead of dried red chilies, and nobody else made it that way. We would go out to the farm in Hatch or close to our house and buy fresh red chili and take it home, and we would boil it, run it through a blender and a colander, and it would come out this beautiful bright red, sweet, hot sauce, and it just made the best enchiladas ever. When I got into the real estate business, which was, hate to say 40 years ago, I wanted to give my customers a gift at Christmas time that was from New Mexico, and there was something that I made. I hated getting calendars in the mail at Christmas. I wanted to give something special. We're in the commercial real estate business, so most of our customers were from out of town, and getting something from New Mexico was interesting to them, and I just wanted to do it. So we would make this red chili in the fall, because that's the only time you can make it. Probably why nobody else makes it this way, because they can make it with dry chili year-round, but this fresh chili is only available for about 6 weeks. And so we'd make our chili during that time.
And the kids would help.
And the kids would help, yeah. And it was a family, made a party out of it. And we would can it. And then we would, at Christmas time, send it to our real estate customers. I knew it was good because I loved it. We would eat it once a week. And our friends would say, can you make those red enchiladas for us? And then when our customers, real estate customers, started calling and saying, you know, I really appreciate the jar, but can you send us a case? And they were serious. We heard that enough times, and we said, you know, what the heck, let's take our recipe and our product to a food processor. For the first year, we made 10,000 jars, which I thought was a humongous amount of chili. And the most we'd ever made before was 800 jars, which we did at the Gospel Rescue Mission, using their kitchen, because that was too much for our kitchen, and we did that. That was the last year we made it non-commercially and sent it to our friends and relatives and customers.
Took us all day.
Yeah. We found a food processor who would make it for us. They made 10,000 jars. That's about 5 years ago, I think. The next year, I think we did another 10,000 jars. For about 3 or 4 years, it was a hobby, and we would sell it here and sell it there and go to a trade show, go to wineries, and we just had fun with it. And then we decided to get serious about the business. Enough people were giving us feedback, and I think we were doing 20,000 jars a year. And in 2018, we kind of took serious the internet marketing aspect of the business. We started working on the website and working on Facebook a little bit more and things like that. First employee was Sarah Hartzell. We used to ship the chili from a little office, like 300 square feet.
It was like a closet. It was like a really long little closet.
And she'd have, you know, 4 or 5 girls in there helping package and so on. So we started selling more and more chili, and we started needing the food processor. Instead of 1 day a month, it became 1 day a week. Then it became 2 days a week, and then it was 3 days a week. And the food processor we was working with, she just said, Randy and Carol, we're going to have to either fire you as a customer or fire 5 other customers, and I'm not going to fire 5 other customers. So she said, you need to find some other way to make your product. So we started looking, trying to find other processors. No one could take on what we wanted to do. And Carol and I had to make some tough decisions there as to, we couldn't find anybody else to make it for us. We either had to shut this company down or find a way to make it ourselves, huh?
We spent a lot of time thinking about it too.
Thinking and praying. January 2019, we knew we had to find another way to make our product. And we couldn't find anybody to do it for us, and we decided, you know what, we're gonna have to make it ourselves. We were in Hawaii. We have a little bitty condo in Hawaii that's about 350 square feet, but it's right on the ocean on the island of Molokai, and realizing that we had to find another facility to make our project. So I started looking for properties. Found a property in Hatch, downtown Hatch, New Mexico. From Hawaii, we put that building under contract to buy, and we thought that's where we would go. We came back into February and went up and looked at the building. We got a contractor to come look at it. The electrical was shot, the plumbing was shot, everything about the building was shot. We made a different offer to the guy at a price that represented a building that had no electrical and no plumbing, and he was not willing to take it, which I'm very glad of today. And we started looking around at other options, and we found an old grocery store in Las Cruces, New Mexico, which is about 35 miles south of Hatch and where we live. The hoods were there, the plumbing was there,
It was so much better.
the freezers were there, the cold storage was there. It was really a godsend to have that facility.
And it was so much closer to where we live, so if there was a situation where we needed to be there in just like 5 minutes, we could be there.
Yeah, now we know that's really where we needed to be because we're there a lot, and it would have been harder to make that 40-minute drive. Las Cruces is, the city I was born in, and my dad was born here. My dad's mother was born here, so we're going back, 3 and 4 generations. All my kids were born here. It's a beautiful city. The Oregon Mountains to the east, just gorgeous views. Rio Grande River going down the middle. Las Cruces is my home. I love it here. So we're glad that the plant ended up being here. So we made this decision in March, and we need to be open in July. We were at this building in Las Cruces, and we were all there. The contractor, the engineer, the electrical engineer. My contractor looked at me and said, "Randy, it ain't gonna happen. We can't get you open in time for the season, and it's just not gonna happen." So I was just heartbroken. We were heartbroken, and so I said, "Well, let's you and me go down to the city and see if they will expedite our approval somehow." Me and the contractor, Tim Curry, went down to the city offices, and I asked for the head of city planning, and they said, "Well, he's in this meeting that they have every Wednesday where you take new projects in there, and all of the staff, city staff is in there, the heads of every department are in there, and you can tell them if you got a new project, and they'll help you move it along." And I know for a fact that was a godsend, because I left the facility, my contractor saying, "There's no way in hell you're gonna get this done." And I say, "Well, let's go ask the city." And I walk in the city, and they're having a meeting to discuss this very kind of issue. And so we went in and sat down, and got to be our turn. And they said, "Well, there's a few problems. We're not sure the zoning's right." And then somebody on the other side of the table said, "Yeah, but this is a cottage industry, so we can make that work." And I said, "Well, we can't wait for 60 days to have these plans approved. We have to be in operation in 90 days. And they said, "You know what? We've been looking for a project that we could expedite and really show how fast we can make something happen." And they all looked around the table and they said, "We'd like to do this project." My contractor, who's my best friend, Tim, he said, "I cannot believe that happened." So going from the building and having Tim tell me it ain't happening, and walking into the city and then telling me we can make this happen was pretty cool. So I get moved because when I see God do something in my life, it moves me inside, and I know the chances of that happening are nil, and they happened. And so I know He had a part in it, and that moves me. That's what moves me. That's when we went to work, the engineer, the draftsman, the contractor, everybody started pulling hard, and we had to partition the building, we had to order the equipment. We had to get the drawings finished, the approvals from the city. We go to the environmental department. We told them we wanted to roast chili and showed them our chili roasters. And they said, "You're not going to roast this chili outside." And so then we went to the fire department and they said, "You know, you're not going to roast this chili inside." So I said, "Okay guys, come on, we got to get on the same page. There's only two places, outside and inside." So we had to build this kind of a cage that has wire mesh, and it's got a roof and wire mesh around it, and it's a tall ceiling outside the plant.
So we were inside outside.
And so we're inside out. So it was really a mammoth job putting this facility together in such a short period of time, and far beyond what anything Carol and I could have done. But we had a lot of great people around us too. Our contractor, Tim Curry, put his heart and soul into this. Morgan Baylor, she put together our packaging materials and our labels. Sarah ran everything. I mean, she did everything from the bookkeeping to the ordering to the hiring, and Morgan helped her with all of that. Chris Lang was right there behind them all, and he was doing all of the marketing. And Gabe Payan, our chef, was amazing. And he was just, you know, worked so hard. We had 30 employees that were roasting chili and bottling chili and working so hard 24 hours a day. And my wife Carol was behind all of that, helping with everyone and giving me the strength to do what I needed to do. It took all of us to make that happen. And I'm just grateful that they all saw it as a challenge and something that they wanted to do, and they really applied themselves, and together we got it done. We were able to open October 1st. Would have liked to have been open 30 days before, but it was a miracle we got opened at all that year. It really was. And so we were able to roast chili and make chili for 30 days until the season was over. So the most we had ever bottled before was about 25,000 jars. And we thought we'd like to bottle, you know, 50,000, 60,000 jars for the next year. We ended up doing about 75,000 jars. And we thought that would last us. We hoped that would last us until the next chili season. That was October 31st when we shut down. Little did we know that the COVID epidemic would come and changed everybody's world, including ours. Here we are, 2020, in the beginning of a new season. Then COVID hit, and everybody was kind of concerned about how this was going to affect all of our business, you know, the real estate business, the farm, you know, what is this going to do with a total shutdown? And it had the exact opposite effect of what we were afraid of.
Our sales went through the roof, and we became a household name within a couple months. We were selling about a pallet of green chili in 3 days, and that's 1,500 jars. So I never thought I'd see chili go that fast off the shelves. Roasting 24 hours, jarring twice a day, 6 days a week. So we're producing as fast as we can sell it, that's for sure.
When COVID hit, it felt like suddenly everyone's home on their couch and they're scrolling Facebook and they're seeing our ads and they're buying more than ever, and they're home cooking with their families more.
And we started working out the kinks on doing a bigger batch. We just got in a couple new kettles this past month to do even bigger batches. We want to keep the quality the same in the bigger batches, so that's why we've got to test out that recipe and make sure, you know, adding 20 more gallons, 30 more gallons here and there won't affect quality or taste or anything like that. Once everything hit and we knew that we were staying open throughout the whole incident, because we were a food producer and people need their food. It was quite a tough period getting evolved into where we are now. Different aspects of like masks and face shields and sanitizers, which one would work better. We were very sanitary anyways, because in the canning process you have to be.
It's literally felt like one day at a time. I think early on I started asking myself questions like, not what do we do if, but what do we do when? Because it's felt a little safer to try and think ahead to if we were to find out today that someone maybe like at the warehouse has had it for a week, what would we have already been doing that's made it a safer place?
Most of our sales are direct to consumer. And when COVID hit, people knew that they didn't have to go to a middleman or anything like that. We were sending it from our clean factory directly to them. And they were getting a product that they were amazed by. We've gotten quite a few comments on just first-time customers being like, this is not what I expected, and you have a customer in us. With Chris and Sarah and Randy all behind us, where we've got the marketing team to really push out what needs to be shown and really get people interested in our product.
Chris has been a cornerstone of the company, no question. He gets up every day thinking about how we can serve our customers better.
One thing I admire most about him was when the COVID hit, he was more concerned about his employees at Oregon Mountain Outfitters and the employees with Fresh Chile Company than he was about himself. And that I really admire about Chris.
We are almost like a family. We come from different backgrounds, but this whole year has really brought us together in a family aspect that you grow together or you separate, and we've all grown together in a great way.
You know, this last year has brought all of us together as a team. Gabe and Sarah, Chris, Morgan, my wife, all of us have been a team getting through this time together. And we are so grateful that our business has even increased in these tough times, and also seeing other opportunities that have come our way. A beautiful restaurant in Mesilla came available. We'll be operating there November-ish. Gabe will be the head chef, and coming up with the new menu items and some great farm-to-table foods using the Fresh Chile products. So we're so excited about that. Also during that time, there was a winery that came available for sale, and it's called the Rio Grande Winery. So we bought this winery, and we're making the wine this year, and in about 6 months we'll have some white wines for sale, and in about a year we'll have some red wines for sale. We're glad to be part of Southern New Mexico, and we're so glad to be a part of the chili business, the pecan business. Honey is available on our site, the grape business, the vineyard business. It all works together, and we'll come together at Josefina's Gate. Got a lot of fun things we're looking forward to in the future. I know there'll be some big struggles, but we're looking forward to it.